What's up, everybody? Squirrel Man's back again. I'm busting out a couple of videos today because I ain't got nothing better to do. Sit around and think, and sitting there waiting for a damn load. I'm sitting here in Ohio. The one thing I want to talk about today that it gets brought up all the time, but I mean, I don't think I've ever made a video about it that I can recall. But learning how to talk to people, is that is key. That is vital in life, in all walks of life. Anywhere you go, doesn't matter what kind of job you have, where you live, where you hang out all the time. Learning how to talk to people is a huge skill. And I think the one big mistake people make is that they talk to people all the same. It's like, I can't talk to my boss the way I talk to my neighbor. I can't talk to my mom the way I talk to my best friend. So the one thing you really need to learn is everybody's particular situation, personality, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, you can't talk to your little brother the way you talk to your grandma. And one thing I learned in working in security and working in the prison system for so long is how to talk to people. And the most important thing that I learned was how to de-escalate a situation. And I think people that work in law enforcement, especially the police, don't get nearly enough training on how to de-escalate a situation, because de-escalating is like the most important thing you could possibly do. You could take a guy that's way up here getting ready to commit mass murder or hurt himself, or some lady, and you could talk him down and make him think about what he's doing, and then all of a sudden you see his mood, his attitude, or his threat level slowly start to drop, and that's when he puts that weapon down. So de-escalating is everything, and you can use that on just about anybody or any level of threat. But and this goes for so many people, man. School teachers, a boss, a manager working in Walmart. You got to learn how to read people. You got to learn, kind of take a good educated guess what kind of person, what kind of personality you're talking to, what kind, who you're dealing with, as to how you should approach that situation. You'll get a lot of people, especially young people nowadays, man. Young people are so entitled. They think they are entitled to everything. Like they don't have to work for nothing. Everything should just be handed to them. And when you start to introduce reality into their brain, they get super offended, but you don't need to throw a reality bomb at them all at once. You need to learn how to make them think, learn how to make them take a step back and reevaluate their situation. And a lot of times it's like a person, like let's say a security guard goes and talks to a group of people. Well, it's your approach. And sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes a person sees you and they just decide they don't like you. It's not personal. It's nothing you did. They just look at your face and decide they just don't like you, But even if that's true, the words that are going to come out of your mouth, the things you're about to say, the approach you give can drastically change that. And even though the person doesn't like you, you won't get a super negative response out of them, because they're like, okay, he's being fair. He's being professional. He's being fair. Okay, I'm going to show respect. I'll tell you a story. When I was working security outside this Walmart, I didn't work for the Walmart, but I got stuck working there for like 3 weeks doing this bullshit babysitter job. And I had this other guy, this old man that worked with me, and he was a pain in the ass. He goes up to these girls one night, and he just starts barking at them. This is in the middle of the night. These girls are making their way down towards the main road because they were waiting for a ride. And he just starts barking at them about the shopping cart and all sorts of stuff. Well, that's a huge example of working on your approach and how you talk to people. You know, he was getting a super negative response out of these girls. So I walked up out of the dark and I said, hey, ladies, what's going on? And they're like, this guy is being a jerk. He's screaming at us. So you know what I did? I said, hey, you know what? It's the middle of the night. There's a lot of drunk drivers around. I just don't want to see you get hit by a car. Is there any way you could just kind of push that cart up towards the more closer to the store and you can wait for your ride up there? And they immediately did a complete 180 and we're like, oh yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, you're totally right. We can do that. You see what I did there? I completely flipped it around and I worked, you know, that you just got, it's the approach. It's what you say to people, you know? So that is like one of the most important things I've learned in life, is how to de-escalate situations. I think that's something everybody needs to work on. I think some people walk into situations with their ego, and that is a huge mistake. Leave your ego at home. And I'm not talking about it just like law enforcement and stuff like that. I'm talking about everyday life, man. When you walk into a situation, take 2 seconds to try to empathize with that person. Take 2 seconds to just try to put yourself in that person's shoes and try to think the way they're thinking. Try to understand what kind of situation they might be in or what they might be thinking, because that is going to help you so quickly learn how to de-escalate a situation. All right. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you got any crazy stories, I want to hear about them. Like, share, subscribe. Common sense ain't common.